You're muted.
Oh, Friday night. It's the show. Ben hasn't eaten yet for some reason. Waking up earlier now. Why haven't you eaten yet? I don't understand.
I've been up for 30 hours
30 hours. What have you been doing this whole time?
working and then being awake.
Okay. Well, there you go. Ben and I had a pre-show meeting as I was
Yep.
Whoa.
finishing my
Had
ice
we
cream
had
and
we not
walking.
had the pre-show meeting, I would have eaten my pizza and been done by now. But
That's not true. You said you're going to the bathroom during our
because
meeting.
some jerk called me and talked about all the same crap he's going to say tonight for 20 minutes, and I'm like, why did we do that? Now I'm not going to be able to react to it like I would normally.
I had
'Cause
to
I already
get
heard it all.
some of it out so it wouldn't be as harsh to the when we got to show the truth to some of the Packer fans. But anyway, we're about truth on this show. We're not about placating and telling you the Packers have all the greatest players. Rick, as a Raiders fan, what if you constantly were told you just have all the greatest players all the time? How would you feel? Better, or would you feel this kind of silly?
Well, first off, since this is about truth, I'm not sure what I'm more surprised about, that you guys were organized enough to have a pre-show meeting this week, or that you had a pre-show meeting and you still started on time. But I think if I was told I had the best players on my team all the time and we still had like 4 and 12 years, I'd probably be a little concerned, disheartened, sad, crushed. Hope is
Oh,
gone.
I
But
think
if your
that's
team isn't very good, there's room to improve.
well. There you go. It's the glass half full, glass half empty. But also, I think what it does is it sets up all the Packers fans for a big disappointment because they really legitimately think that the Packers are going to win the Super Bowl or have a chance to win the Super Bowl every year, even though it hasn't happened in 12 years. So I mean, it took me a while to catch on, and I'm a little slow. Don't get me wrong, but the last couple of
I
years,
think
I've kind of like, yeah, I don't expect it.
that's life as a Vikings fan, right, Ben? You're
Oh,
on this
come
market.
on.
You see it every year. Doesn't matter how bad the Vikings are. There's hype. They're great. They're going to come in. They're going to take the North. They're going to destroy the Packers. And yeah, but every year,
Vikings.
they, even though it's futile, they're not going to win a Super Bowl anytime soon. But every year, it's first few weeks. Get on that Viking bandwagon. They're going to win it all. Hope springs eternal.
This is the year. All that talent, right, Ben? All that talent the Vikings always have. How does it not equal Super Bowls for ever in their lifetime?
I don't know. I really don't know because they have more talent than Packers in a lot of ways. More consistent talent, anyways. But not anymore. Now they got Za'Darius, so.
Well, and the Vikings have had atrocious offensive line play forever. I don't know why
That's true.
They can't ever find anybody that's even halfway decent for an offensive line. And the Packers grab guys, how many undrafted free agents and low picks have they plugged in, and they're way better than the guys the Vikings draft in the first round.
Are they, though?
Round.
I thought you were going to show us a bunch of video about how they all suck.
Well, I didn't say they all suck. I just said we gotta expose some of them. I didn't specify what offensive lineman exposed means. Maybe it just means a bunch of racy pictures of offensive linemen.
Yeah.
I was trying to get some viewers in here.
Maybe this will be a mature audiences only episode.
Prove that you're 18 when you sign into this one. Anyway, never mind. No, there is some exposure. There's some guys who are better than people think, and there's some guys that probably aren't as good as people say and think. And I'm just trying to show you tape, show people plays, because I'm tired of the misinformation about offensive line play and the Packers offensive line. We've heard all the time Steno's the greatest offensive line coach in the history of the world. Oh my God. Even though I think in this panel, I think we would all agree that James Campen was probably a much better offensive line coach, because he did a lot with guys that weren't that good and turned them into good offensive linemen. And not to mention, he was also Lucas Patrick's first offensive line coach way before Steno.
The one he learned the most from.
Right, where LP got his roots. So James Campen was...
you got Josh Sitton, TJ Lang, even
Scotty Wells.
Evan Dietrich Smith, Scotty Wells, What's his face from crap.
Ross
Even-
Verba.
Well, I don't know if he ever. He got a hold of Ross Verba. maybe
Even
a little
made
bit.
Brian Bulaga from Iowa serviceable.
Yeah, he made Brian Bulaga not suck. J.C. Treader. There's a lot of like undrafted or low picks. David Bakhtiari, who he
4th
turned
rounder.
into.
Yeah.
I mean, very, very good Pro Bowl type, solid. Don't screw up too much. Offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Now Josh Sitton apparently is the greatest pass blocking guard in the history of PFF grades. I always thought he was okay, but apparently he's the greatest of all time. Like number 1 graded pass blocking guard. So awesome. He never blocked anybody on screen pass. I can tell you that.
David's here. Hey, David, South Mississippi. Hopefully it's okay down there. Weather's not. Hopefully the weather's not crazy. I don't know you guys, but over here it's okay.
I don't know.
What do you got, Rick?
One other thing with Packers, and we've talked about how they seem to maybe try to keep their own guys or promote from within almost to a fault, but I think there's something to be said for keeping the same core of guys together on the offensive line too. I think they typically don't have that much turnover on the offensive line, that you get guys that are used to playing together and communicate. You're not shuffling in new guys all the time, and I think that can help with consistency when you do have a decent offensive line or better than average offensive line. Some of that is going to be the communication and guys knowing what's happening on either side of them too. So I think there's something to be said for that, even though it seems like sometimes they're reluctant to go out and get a guy or bring in an outside talent. So
yeah, I'll echo that. I mean, I think cohesiveness is important, and they've tried to keep some guys in for multiple contracts, and that's been helpful to them. And then they got to make changes, and I get it. And sometimes you got to do a youth movement, and totally get it. But I do think that there are guys that anyway, pretty much every offensive lineman the Packers have drafted, not all of them, but 90% of them in the last handful of years, either signed or drafted, were better than all the guys the Vikings had. So, that's a big part of the reason why the Vikings stink so much. And they had super stinky quarterback play for such a long time. Anyway, so we won't go too far on that part into Vikings land because we're done talking about them. David, Packers fan since 1966. I bet David could think of a better pass blocking guard than Josh Sitton, Ben. That's what I think, probably. Name one, David. A better pass blocking offensive guard the Packers have had than Josh Sitton. I know you got one in your back pocket. He'll give us one here in a second, I'm sure.
Yeah, but back in the 60s, it was more running.
Yeah, they didn't throw back then.
Come on, they still threw.
Dude, they ran like one play to perfection over and over, and nobody could stop it.
Yeah, but then they let it rip downfield. They let Bart Starr, come on. He was like the early Major Harris. I mean, he just 4 for 5 for 200 yards, man. No?
I mean, that was more like Don Hudson wide receiver land in the old days. Old days.
I know.
Was when they would just pass all crazy.
More than 100 years, man. More than 100 years of football. So that's how it
There
goes.
you go.
Yeah.
Now, we got some stuff to go through tonight. Did anybody see? That's what got in my mind. The Packers tailgate tour was this past week.
Yeah,
Tremont and James Starks. Scotty Wells. Like some of the best Packers in the last 15, 20 years were on this year's tailgate tour. Mike Neal. Well, okay, he's not in that group, but he's still kind of a cool dude. He looks ripped.
Pretty good. He's all right.
He looked freaking ripped, dude. He looked like he could play right now. I know. Like, get him on the team because he looked like a monster. Holy cow. So anyway. Too. Yeah, well, I mean, come on. Like,
he'd be better than Shamar Jean-Charles, I'll tell you that.
I know. He looks... It's those... But anyway, it's a cool thing. If you don't know about the Packer tailgate tour, they go around. A lot of alumni guys get to go do it, and they visit places all around Wisconsin and, drop in, do some speeches, see some kids. Basically, they try to just connect with fans all around the state, and they do it. They give the alumni guys a chance to make a little money and get involved. And if you were a good Packer, you usually get invited to go on that stuff. And this year, pretty cool because the first time Tremont was on it, James Stark's in the mix as well. 2 really good Packers from Super Bowl year of 2010. And then, Scotty Wells also from the Super Bowl year 2010. Mike Neal too, right? Mike Neal? I think he was on that team. I think maybe not. I have to double check that.
Maybe.
I have to double check that.
I don't think so because the Super Bowl rotation was.
Oh yeah, maybe that
unless he got hurt. Maybe he got hurt because I don't remember because remember how they had so many injuries that season.
Yeah, a lot.
Because the rotation for pass rusher was Matthews, Frank Zombo, and Eric Walden. That was like the rotation there. And then the defensive line rotation, you had Howard Green come in once in a while, and I think there was one other big guy, but like really big guy, not like Mike Neal size, who was like 270 or whatever. He was more of a defensive end or something.
Mike Neal was drafted in the second round of 2010. He is a Super Bowl champion as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He must have got injured then.
Well, he's a rookie that year too. They might have been like, not played him hardly at all. Who knows? They had all those other dudes. So, and Clay was tearing him up and all that stuff in his second year. So there you have it. Anyway, so tailgate tour is pretty cool. All right, so I got some things for tonight. Interesting stuff in terms of offensive line, and nobody really cares about that stuff. And we got one little stretch of plays for Nico, some proof for Nico, who tried to diffuse and denounce. Now, David, I don't know about this comment. Brian Bulaga in his day. Come on.
If you picked his best days.
Come on, Dave. Yeah, maybe he had one good day that was better than Josh sitting at pass blocking. I don't know. Maybe.
He played enough games that he's got to have more than a good day.
All right, you guys carry this.
The Brian Bulaga fan club, but you could do worse.
Did you want him back, Rick? Some people were wondering if they should get him back.
No, I don't think his day is now. I think his day was in the past. But just, trying to add a little positivity here.
Well, that's not a problem. We always have lots of positivity on this show. Despite, I think Eggis made some comment this week, but then I think he took it down or I missed it. Or did you read it, Ben? You got anything on Eggis? Are you still eating pizza?
No. It didn't. I want to eat this pizza, so if you start showing some videos, then I can go blank and eat my pizza.
Well, I gotta set it.
That'll be great. It's now cold, so I'm trying to wait for you to get going here so that I can eat my pizza.
All right. Well, I need you guys to carry it for a second so I get this stuff set up. So, talk about something while I.
My daughter went and ate all of her pizza already.
No, I ate half.
Oh, half. Oh, okay.
I don't want this one.
You took all the sausage off? What a weirdo.
No wonder she's done. She didn't eat all the good stuff.
You touched it with your fingers. Why would I want to eat your... Just throw it all in the garbage. I ain't going to eat any of it. These kids disrespect... They disrespect the cook.
You didn't even cook it.
I stuck it in the
So I had
counts.
So I had a super awesome Eric Luck moment. Went to pull my car out of the driveway this evening because I was going to grill some burgers up. I dropped my set of keys right at the edge of the driveway. I landed just right that the keyless fob exploded, popped open, and all the guts flew all over into the long grass that I need to mow. It's like, what's the likelihood of that, right? How many times do you drop your keys and nothing ever happens? But it's got to be in the driveway right on the edge of the long grass. So I'm digging around out there, and I find all the important bits, but I'm missing one button. I can't find the unlock button. So,
That's the one you need.
Yes. And to make it worse, my wife's always complaining that I'm a pack rat because I save important things I might need. And I knew we had an extra fob because somebody who's not me put their set of keys through the washing machine a year or two ago and didn't let it dry out, just pushed it and thought it would work fine. And it did one time, and then it went wacky and died. But I saved it in case, the fob breaks or something, right? So I threw it in the junk drawer. She wanted me to throw it away just weeks ago, and I saved it. So I was able to go salvage the missing parts from the broken one to put into the one that exploded in the edge of the driveway. So we didn't have to go order another keyless fob for the car, which sucks.
Man, look at that, Rick. See, it always
That's some
pays off.
MacGyver. That's some MacGyver
right.
action right there.
That's impressive. I like it. All right, I got some plays to show. Let's take a sneak peek at some of these bad boys. Ben can eat his pizza. This is actually some videos put together by some source highlighting Josh Nijman. So some people have said that Josh Nijman had a very good year last year. Some people have said, oh, it wasn't nearly as good as a lot of people think. And I said, after I looked at him, I wasn't expecting, but he was actually in my top 10 offensive linemen in the league. So take your extremes there for what you will. Maybe it's the truth is somewhere in the middle, but this guy had some plays for Josh. Let's sneak a peek at what Josh does. We're also going to look at a couple other guys in some of these plays, but we'll notice that these plays are highlighting Josh. These are supposed to be highlight plays for Josh Nijman about what he did. Now he's there in the box. We got Dennis Kelly here. This is against the Baltimore Ravens, by the way. A pretty beefy team, pretty good run defense team, generally speaking. We got Royce at right guard, of course. LP at center. John Runyon Jr., rated by some as the best Packer offensive lineman in all of last season, which I'm not sure about that. But anyway, he had some good plays. But let's take a look at how this play goes as they play it out. So we're just at the 3-yard line here. We start off with double team blocks. Ben, look at this. Double team block here. It's going to be a double team here. But something that this play shows is Josh's ability to double team and scrape and be effective at it. And he does a pretty damn good job. I got to say, there's plenty of good offensive linemen in the NFL that cannot have this mobility and get the job done on this. So watch him. There he is. Now the guy says he's got the double team. Pretty beefy guy that they're double teaming there at the tackle spot. Then he peels off. Now it's Patrick Queen, who the Packers wanted him to draft a couple years ago, that he gets in front of on this one. And A.J. Dillon reads the blocks right and flies it in the end zone for a touchdown. So, and Josh is pretty fired up. Okay, because he knows what he did. He handled his business against the big guy and then scraped off against the linebacker. That's good offensive line play, and it's timing, right? It's also timing. Now, let's take a sneak peek here at how the other guys, let's look at the interior guys. We got LP here. We got Royce. We're not worried about Dennis Kelly. He's kind of on the outside here. And John Runyon here at left guard. We'll take a quick look at that. So they both are engaged in double teams right now. And Runyon is going to have to take over the big guy. Josh shoves him inside, which helps him out quite a bit, and then peels off. And again, it's a pretty dang good play. So blocked up pretty nicely. Even a little, I think this is, who is this? Juwan Winfrey, maybe? I don't know who that scrappy wide receiver is doing. He's doing okay, though, on the play, too. Holding up his guy so Dillon can find the crease and get in the end zone. So everybody did all right. Even Royce did okay on that one. Not too bad. All right. Looks good. So that's a nice offensive line unit play right there. When you say, Rick, look pretty good overall?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
You look good on that play.
Okay. So I want to move through a couple other things. Now, let's see. Oh, yeah, let's look at some more Baltimore stuff here with there's more Baltimore film. So same game, same defense. They're also highlighting Josh here in this one. But we'll check the other guys here in a minute. But let's see what Josh does first. So he's got Tyler Davis next to him. And then we got DeGuara here at the H-back spot. And we got the goon, Lazard, over here. Aaron Jones in the backfield. Okay, so again, a double team here with Runyon and Josh. Royce is pulling on this one. Lucas has got this guy head up, the big guy. And you got the backers kind of here hovering. But let's see what Josh does. Okay, he's kind of holding his own against that guy. Okay. Shields him off. Aaron Jones cuts it back the opposite direction because it was kind of bunched up there. But we'll take a look at that again and kind of show you what happened and why it got bunched up. Now, anyway, Josh did what he needed to do there. It wasn't an overpowering block, but he stayed on the block. That's important. I want you to watch the inside guys now. Let's watch Runyon and let's watch Lucas here. Lucas gets he's got to take on this big guy by himself, and he gets beat up a little bit, but he sticks with him, does the job, gives Aaron Jones a lane to cut back. I can't remember what Runyon does here. He comes off the double, looking for a linebacker, kind of shoves Queen. You can see Lucas here. He didn't beat the guy, but he's still with him. And that allowed, because he still had him tied up, that allowed Aaron Jones to cut back and get away. So that's when I talk about guys sustaining blocks. I'm not always looking for guys that are just burying people, but if you can stay engaged with that guy can't make the tackle. And that's one thing when I evaluate offensive linemen and offensive blocking by anybody, staying in contact with the people you're supposed to be blocking is my number one priority. So whether that's shielding a guy, whether that's tying him up, whatever it is, sometimes beating him into the ground, but staying with him and not letting him get to the ball carrier is really important. That's the most important. Ian Lucas is still going after the guy. See, there you go. That's my guy. All right, let's look at the next play. This is still Baltimore. Another play kind of featuring Yash here. So he's still at that left tackle spot. Watch him first. And we got another double team start. And he gets to come down hard on that guy. See how that guy went inside a little bit? And Yash has got, look at that. Look at that frame. Look at the leverage he's got. And he's got push on this guy. So he's going to move him this time. And he needs to because Lucas isn't in the greatest spot here. Royce, I'm not sure what's going on. It's kind of messy. Aaron Jones sees already he's going to have to cut back. So this block is going to be key to opening up something here. So Yash just keeps driving and in the process picked off this guy. So he actually picks off two guys in this play. His guy bowled him into the linebacker, which John Runyon could not get. And Aaron Jones has a nice lane here to get through and get some yards. Now, there's one thing that I noticed after watching this play, which is another myth-busting problem. We might as well throw it out there. You can tell me if this is the greatest tight end blocker of all time right here, Mercedes Lewis. Just watch him on this play as the play develops. Okay, he's got to block this little safety. Now, he has to be careful going out there, right, to block a little defensive back because he doesn't want to miss. But once he gets engaged with that guy, Mercedes Lewis has got, 80 pounds on him? Like, he should not disengage. He should bury that dude, or at very least, stay engaged with him and be able to move him around a little bit. But watch who gets it on the tackle when Mercedes doesn't sustain his block. Now, plenty of people will tell you over and over again, Mercedes Lewis is great at blocking. Mercedes Lewis is the best blocking tight end they've ever seen. I don't know what those people are looking at. Because a lot of plays, I see blocks like that. He does not sustain the block. He doesn't move people when he needs to. And in this case, zero excuse. Yes, he had to go with the guy controlled, but once he got his hands on him, he should have been able to bury that little dude. And he could not and did not, and that guy got it on the tackle.
I think that is a prime example of why you got to stick with your blocks, especially with a guy like Jones in the backfield.
Absolutely.
Because you don't know where it's going to go, right? I mean, even if it looks like it was designed to be going to the right, but he cut it back right away. So, if the play was as designed, Big Dog wouldn't have been anywhere near it. His guy probably wouldn't have been anywhere near to making the play. But especially when you're downfield, you don't know where the guy's moving behind you. So don't just take a little cheapy block and think it's going to be fine. Stick with your guy.
And you got one-on-one blocks here. One-on-one block, 89 against 38. 89 should win that block. I'm just saying.
He doesn't even initially get it. Watch. Pause it right there.
Yeah, he's out of position.
He's grabbing him all the way. That should be holding, first of all.
Right.
Because he's grabbing his back. Because he's so much like he's already lost. He's on him, so it looks like he's doing something right, but he never really has him, and that's why the guy disengages because he never actually gets his hands on his chest. He's only got one hand on him, and that's why the guy's able to get off and make the play. He never gets a hand on him.
Now, Royce is most of the time you see Royce just running around after guys, but not really, or kind of putting his hand on them. He did that on that play too. Didn't really do a lot. That's kind of what Royce does. So hopefully the Packers figure that out about him or clean that up or get him to actually block people. I don't know. One more for Yash here, and we'll kind of see what else goes on in this play. Still Baltimore.
We got any pass blocking in this?
No, this is all kind of to show Yash run blocking here. So they come off another double team. Oh, this is a great play by John Runyon Jr. I have to give him credit and props on this. He starts off on the double. So even though Yash does well here, I want to point out Runyon here on this play. He had a bunch of plays where he did not look good that I watched, but this one is an incredible adjustment. This backer 56 is flying up. He is attacking this on like a run blitz, or he's just reading it and saying, they're doubling, I'm going for it, okay? Because either Aaron Rodgers is handing this off, or if he fakes it, I'm going to get Aaron Rodgers. That's what this guy is saying right here. And Runyon sees it. Normally you'd sustain this double team for just a split second more, but Runyon sees it, knows it's a handoff, and watch how well he recovers and gets this guy out of the way. It's an incredible play. Great play by him. Absolutely. Now, if he can do more of that stuff consistently, then he could be the player that everybody talks about him being so great. But he was very heads up on that play. I hope we see more of that out of him this year. Because that's what we're going to need, because the Packers are going to be kind of sketchy up front at times. I want to watch this play one more time here, because I think you probably saw what Yash did, but let's see how Royce and Lucas do here. They're double teaming the big guy again. And, well, Royce kind of peeled off and just kind of run around tagging guys again, but whatever. Anyway.
Rewind it.
Okay, what else did you see?
Rewind it. Watch Mercedes Lewis.
Oh, is he over here? Wait, which one is this one?
He's on the outside.
Right there?
Lazard went on the inside to take 38.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Lazard's here. Mercedes is here on the outside against the outside backer here.
Because wait till you see who makes the tackle.
Yep. So
he's already lost.
Yep. Comes off of him again.
Mercedes Lewis, hold your block. The greatest blocking tight end in the history of all time. If he would have made that block, Aaron Jones it'd take 21. 21 would have to stop Aaron Jones.
Yep.
So even though your guy, Lukey got his guy sealed, Runyon Bunyon read the play, got his butt over there and sniped the guy. Lazard's blocking his guy 100%.
Yash is still on his guy.
Yash is still taking care of his dude. It's the greatest blocking tight end in the history of all time, who, again, didn't block his guy for more than 2 seconds, and that's who tackled Aaron Jones. And if he would have actually sustained his block, Aaron Jones would have got another 10 yards at the very least, if not maybe more. That's the part, like, when you show all these things, I think the thing that bothers me the most, and we'll see more, I'm sure, like, no one's saying that Lukey Patrick, is the greatest thing in the world. Nobody's saying that John Runyon is the greatest player in the world. They're saying he's solid. No one's saying Royce Newman's any good. They're saying he had an off year and wasn't the greatest. But everybody says that Mercedes Lewis is the greatest blocking tight end in the history of all time. And we just saw 2 plays in a row where the guy couldn't block the guy for more than a second, not even a second, and his guy made the tackle, or his guy screwed the thing up where everybody else got somewhat in the way and made a play. And I know it's hard to sustain a block, but they even switched him. They switched him off 38. They made Lazard come in and take care of that 38 because they knew Mercedes wasn't quick enough to block him. And he still couldn't block that linebacker. The linebacker got off the block and made the play. So it's disappointing.
Maybe he was the best blocking tight end in the NFL. But the guy's almost as old as we are. Let him retire. Wow. It's just sentimentally carries you so far.
Listen, I don't have if somebody would be like, I mean, here's the thing. The guy shouldn't even be on the team. I'm going to just say it. He doesn't practice, right? He never practices on Wednesdays. He's always exempt from practice on Wednesdays, everybody, just so you know. Mm-hmm. Doesn't participate in special teams. He takes up a roster spot for what? 20 plays a game where he mostly blocks and then maybe sneaks out and gets some lucky catches every now and again because nobody thinks they're going to throw it to him. When you could have Davis would block just as good as that.
Right.
DeGuara would block just as good as that.
Agreed.
Tunyon would even maybe Tunyon wouldn't be as good as that.
I think he could hold.
Sometimes Tunyon doesn't even get
for
the initial block. At least Mercedes is
second
getting
or
the
second
initial.
and a half.
I don't know. Sometimes Tunyon's pretty bad, but
Put your third string tackle out there for 5 plays a game if you want to, show the.
yeah, but our third string
Swedish
tackle has
on
to
it.
start, Rick, because the starting tackle hasn't played in a year and a half.
Well, whoever your third string tackle is this year.
I'm just here's the thing. These are plays that were these last groupings were ones that whoever put them together were like Yash Neisman. These are Yash plays to show what Yash can do. But it's important to look at the other things. And these were successful running plays. I mean, they were all successful running plays. But
Right.
you have to look at these aren't plays to say, oh, look at the horrible play Mercedes Lewis made. These are successful plays. But
They could have been more successful.
right. But so we didn't even go and pick.
You
the
know another
worst
reason why
Mercedes
they were
Lewis plays.
why they were successful running plays?
Aaron Jones.
Well, yeah, but who wasn't on the offensive line on any of those plays?
Oh, Billy Turner wasn't in.
Billy
that game?
Turner wasn't on the team at that or in the game, and that's why the running game was better in that game because Billy Turner sucks at run blocking. We all know it. He's terrible.
So people are still concerned about the Bakhtiari injury.
Yes,
We'll
it
find
is
out.
concerning.
I mean, they start training camp next week, so we'll find out.
We'll find out.
But I do think that Yash is good enough to play
Yeah,
left tackle. I think he proved it last year, and I think he can play left tackle this year if you need him to. Now, would that be a lot of wasted money on David Bakhtiari and, be an issue? Sure. And should you still try to find another tackle then that's decent? Because you're not getting away with Cole Van Landen at right tackle.
how do you know? Maybe he did some work in the offseason.
He just
and
looks
he's
so
looking good.
He looks so marshmallowy. He just looks so
They drafted
soft.
3 guys.
I know. Maybe Ryan could be good enough at right tackle. I don't know.
The point is, if Bakhtiari's back and healthy, and even say 85% of what he was before, fine, put him out there. But if he's not, it's wasted money anyway because the guy's not healthy, he can't play. So he doesn't do you any good, putting him out there at 75% or 65%. Right? You've already spent the money. So you just got to move on, cut your losses if he's not ready to go. I'm not saying you cut him, whatever, but
Yeah, we're paying Zadarius Smith $11 million this year to not be out of team. So what the heck?
I mean, he could still
the
head
money
down to
part
Bucks
it
games.
sucks.
He could still head down to Bucks games and fire up the crowd, chug some beers, and maybe get a little money.
Bang,
That's
go.
that's fine. Earn a little money for Wisconsin sports.
We see Bang go.
The contract for whatever it was, good, bad, whatever, it's done, right? I mean, you can't factor in the money at this point for what they're going to do for this season. They just need the best guys they have. If it's a healthy, semi-healthy Bakhtiari, great. If not, move on. Give him another. Do you give him another year to rehab? That's another discussion. But I think, I think I said this at the end of last season when we had the morning after the playoff games show, where when the guy didn't make it back for the playoffs, it was concerning then at that point, right? Like, okay, what are these lingering problems? What are they still cleaning up at that point? Realistically, they had to have known this is a possibility if he's not ready to go. So if they haven't addressed this in the offseason, that's a fail by the front office, right? You got a guy who missed over a year. Even if all signs were that he really was going to be back and you believe it, you need a backup, okay? Like, the guy's coming off a major injury, hasn't played more than a handful of snaps, and then shut it down for the rest of the year again. Really? You really believe that he's going to just come back and step in and be ready to go week 1 and even no rust, no lingering injuries, no equivalent of a pitch count if if he has lingering tightness, whatever? Come on. If they don't have someone who can step up on the roster for week 1, that's a major fail by the front office. I don't care how much money you got tied up in Bakhtiari. If the guy's hurt, he does you zero good. So.
Agreed. All right. Well, we're going to take a look at a few more plays here because we'll continue on. We got some offensive line plays. Now, this is another good example of plays highlighting one player, but I also noticed some other things as we're looking at that. Now, this was Rock Report, so we're probably going to get flagged for this. Super sophomore Josh Myers. Everybody pumped up about Josh Myers, even though, as Ben and I pointed out, we think the Packers could have drafted a couple of other guys that would have been better. Instead of before they drafted him, or even by the time they drafted him, but they chose not to. They drafted this guy. He's fine. He's not as what they're making him out to be, but it's fine. So anyway, these are some videos, some plays to highlight how awesome Josh Myers was. So they're going to highlight him. He's in the center here. This was the game in Detroit. So Bakhtiari's in the field. Rick, see, there he is. There he is. He played a couple snaps.
What was this, 2015?
No, this is last year. This is last year. This is the final game.
Yeah, I got you.
You got Runyon, Runyon at left guard. LP again switched. Myers came back, so LP played right guard, and Dennis Kelly in there at right tackle. So
That's better than Billy Turner.
And actually on this play, Ben, no Mercedes Lewis. We got Tyler Davis in there at tight end.
Good.
So,
That's probably smart.
okay, let's see what happens here. This is a running play. Okay, Josh Myers coming over, and this is a pass play. Pass play.
Look at
Pass
Lucky
play.
Patrick 1-on-1.
1-on-1. Yep. And we got 3-on-2 here with the greatest pass blocker of all time, and Runyon and Josh Myers. LP 1-on-1 and Dennis Kelly. He's wrapping up his guy. He's just kind of mauling him. That's fine. If they don't call it, you're good. But watch how this is a play highlighting Josh Myers. He's like, look at the feet. Look at how well he sustains his block. Look at how he's doing.
I do like his feet.
He's doing good. But look who else is still blocking. And blocked another guy. So, just want to point out for
Why
all
did
the
they show
people,
the end of that play?
I don't know, because they cut away. But I just want to point out.
Probably because
for all,
nothing good happened on it. That's why.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe it was an incomplete pass. But for all the people for some of the people who said Lucas Patrick was the worst graded offensive player, according to these trusted sources, or that, it's not a loss, or they're not going to miss him or whatever, just watch him on this play, number 62. Shadowing, moving his feet, chasing the guy, pushes that guy into another guy at the end of the play when the quarterback starts scrambling. So I'll take that guy any day of the week. I will take him on my team anytime. Now, here's another example of a double team. So we saw some double team scrapes, and I've showed plays on this show before about how good Lucas was at double team scrapes from center and then picking up blitzes or backers off of the double team. Let's see Josh Myers here. Now he shoves that guy, give him a good hit, and Myers has some power. Now he's a big guy, he's got some power, and he gives Fred Warner a nice nudge there too.
And Fred Warner's like 215
Right.
pounds. So,
but that's still a good play. Now in the zone in there where they just show the little box with Myers and Runyon, who you don't see is Lucas right here, still blocking his guy. Dennis Kelly still doing a pretty good job. And even look at Billy Turner over here. Now, I don't know what this guy was thinking, like why he ran away the hell upfield and all that. But hey, Billy Turner's got his.
he's the Darius Smith in it.
He's got.
Just go to the quarterback. Don't look at the ball. Don't know if it's a run or anything. Just go to the quarterback.
Oh
That's
man,
what he does.
So there's like one other play here that we should look at. And Josh Myers, again, he could be good. He might end up being good. So here's another play. We got Josh Myers. This is against the Niners in the playoff game. So still in that same game. LP at right guard. Billy Turner playing left tackle. Terrible mistake. Steno, you're the stupidest coach of all time doing that. And Dennis Kelly at right tackle, which was fine. Oh, we got Big Dog on this one. And we'll just kind of see. Now, Josh Myers does a pretty good job on this big guy. Now, he got some penetration, but he's stuck with the block, and I appreciate that. That I like, because you're not always going to be able to manhandle people and move them where you want. And Rick knows this too. Sometimes, Rick, right, when guys take an aggressive move, either to your right shoulder or your left or whatever, even if the play was maybe the play was supposed to go to that side or you were supposed to help create a gap, but if that defender attacks that gap, sometimes you got to take him where he wants to go and just create a bigger opening so your running back figures it out. And that's a key. So that's why staying on guys, even if you get beat, that's what I want to see. If you get beat, find a way to recover and stay engaged. And that's why I ranked Yash as high as I did, because Yash even when he got beat, managed to recover a lot to still get pieces of guys and ride them around. LP does a great job of it. Myers, I hope he can do this more frequently. A guy who's concerning to me, well, you know what Royce does. He gets beat and then he stands around and looks around. But look at John Runyon on this play right now. What is he doing? What is he doing? He's right here at left guard. Okay? This guy beat him. He's not engaged. Like, stay engaged.
Or move to the next level and take out that safety.
Well, maybe, but you gotta make
do
sure
that.
if
He has nothing he can do to help with that guy anymore. Get your head around and look for somebody else to block.
Well,
instead, now he's looking back at the ball. What is that going to do for you?
It's not helpful, but Lucas is still blocking. Just a heads up, and he finishes off the pile. So
go back and watch Mercedes on that play.
Okay, we'll see how Mercedes does. Mercedes right here. How does he do? Does he have to take on that DN by himself? Oh boy, that's not looking good.
He's already beat. He never gets his hand on him. Great, the greatest blocking tight end in the history of the NFL. Just so you know, he's like another tackle out there.
That's why this episode is also called Offensive Linemen Exposed, because people say he's like another tackle out there. So part of the exposure was Mercedes Lewis not being all you think he's cracked up to be.
He shouldn't be on the team. He should.
I don't know if you saw the comments, but apparently your racy title got Mo in for this one.
Oh,
there's a Mo sighting in the comments.
Oh, Mo, yeah, he likes exposed offensive linemen.
And he likes offensive line. Yeah,
he's used to the Vikings. They always get exposed.
All right, this is I'm gonna have to find some plays here, so I'm gonna take this off for a second, go find my plays. But anyway, so that was in looking at a bunch of these things, right? I'm looking at plays that highlight Josh Myers, and these are other things I noticed. I'm looking at plays that highlight Yash, and these are other things I noticed. And the one thing I noticed repeatedly was the guy who gets the most hype as a blocker on this whole team. This is just, I don't see it. Where's the good blocks? And if he can't do that, you shouldn't even give him a roster spot just for that. But if he can't do that well, you can't give that guy a roster spot. You just can't. And Rick said it a couple weeks ago. He was spot on. You were spot on, Rick. And this is just proof. It's like, face it. We have to show you, Packers fans. We're showing you. So when all these other sources will say, Mercedes is just so great at blocking. Oh, he's so... They say it, but the tape doesn't say it. Believe your eyes. Don't believe the words of what someone's feeding you. Watch the games. Use the eye test. They will show you. They will show you what is not working. And that guy, more often than not, is not getting his block. Whether it's against a smaller guy like we showed, or if against a bigger guy like on that last play where he just got manhandled. I'm sorry. He's an awesome dude. Great. I like him. But he's not valuable to the team anymore, and you cannot waste a roster spot on that guy. So I'm going to find my couple other plays.
Can't let sentiment get in the way.
We'll do it's a business. It's a business. And this is competitive sports. Everybody has their day when they're done. That's just reality. So I'm going to pull this up.
I'm having that day today.
This one's for Nico. This is for Nico. Remember a couple weeks ago when we talked about, this is from the Packers-Arizona game last year.
Hey, there's the second highest paid quarterback. Oh, wait.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Oh, no, that was the Wandale Moore. No, not Wandale Moore. That's the guy. Wait, what was the guy I wanted? Wandale Robinson. That's who I wanted. No, that's the other kid, that rookie that they had punt returner, who this is first and goal after the fingertip muff punt in Arizona. It was a 7-7 game, 6:43 to go in the second quarter. First and goal for the Packers. And remember,
1-3.
Nico gave us some crap when I brought up how, hey, the Packers have it first and goal and they don't even run it. And they just try to throw it all the time. And I don't even know why. So let's take a look at what happens here. First and goal from the 3-yard line. Aaron Jones is in the game. That's smart. We got 2 tight ends in the game. One of them is Mercedes. I don't know why. And then we got Daphne in here. And then we got 2 receivers in the game. Juwan Winfrey, because remember this game, the Packers had a lot of receivers out. So we got Winfrey in there. We got Cobb available. We got, maybe this is, I can't remember who this dude is. Somebody, whatever. So let's see what happens here. First and goal from the 3. What will the Packers do? First and goal from the 3. What would you do?
St. Brown.
It's Equanimeous St. Brown. We got a lot of great receiving options on this play. So
Not great.
would we run it or would we throw it here?
Jesus.
Now, this was they thought was a touchdown, but if you see on the replay, we'll let it go. This is where Big Dog's big foot couldn't get down. It was a great catch with one hand. Great. On a throw that, might I add, probably could have been a lot better throw. But, you know,
That wasn't a bad throw.
he's got big feet, and he's not working on getting his feet in. He's not he's not Jordy Nelson. He's not Devontae Adams. He's not a wideout that's good at making sure he gets his feet in on the sideline or back in the back of the end zone.
If he would have been more concentrated on catching it with 2 hands, then he would have probably
laying out.
He probably would have and concentrated on catching the ball. He would have probably got his feet in. But because he was worried about catching with one hand, he wasn't worried about his feet, and that's why his feet were out of bounds.
It's tough. It's tough in the moment. I'll give you that.
Man, this has turned into the hate Mercedes Lewis show.
I didn't mean it for that, and that's not why we're showing the play. We're
I
showing this because
I thought this was going to be the Rasul Douglas. That's why I was making a Murray comment. But
this is such a long video that if I skip ahead, I'll lose my spot. So I'm just going to let it go. Okay, so now we're on second and goal. What are we going to do here, Ben? Second and goal. First down.
I see a big AJ Dillon back there.
We try to pass to Mercedes Lewis. Did not work on first down. We got Robert Tonyan in the game now. We got Mercedes on the left side outside of Elton Jenkins, who's playing left tackle in this game. And then we got St. Brown and we got Juwan Winfrey here in a tight split. So here we go. Second and goal from the 3. And Robert Tonyan going to the left. Now, do you think we could have handed off here and tried to run it in to the left? I mean, maybe, but that's not what we do. We're throwing it again.
You know what I want to? I wish you had the. I wish we had the.
They're going to show a replay here, and I have to show you this.
behind the.
You're going to see it.
Offensive line, because they were. No, I'm not going to see it. I want to see.
You're going to see it on the next one here. They show a replay again because.
How did that guy get back there?
I'll show you. Here it is. This is also.
You can't run.
This is part of Runyon. Okay, right. They're stacked up. You can't run. That's fine. But you could do something to the left side. Look how many guys are on the right side here. Look at this. What is I'm a what am I? A 16 years in the league quarterback? What am I doing here? We're already overloaded. We have the advantage to the left. We got tight end here. We got a tight end in motion. We got a receiver out there. And this defense has 3 guys outside of our right tackle. And we have 1 receiver out here. Why? You can run, Ben. You can run here. Right here. To the left. Yes, you can. You can run to the left. You could have Tonyan seal right here.
Run the play and watch how these guys get their balls kicked in, and then you'll see we can't run.
John Runyon gets his butt whooped right here. That's the problem. They circle Lewis, but Runyon gets beat bad right away.
Yeah, but if they went to a designed run, if you seal off that edge, like Jason was saying,
you got some here.
Yeah,
you got little guys, and you got Tonyan coming in motion to help out.
I know, but that wasn't the play call, so you got to run the play call.
But
the point is, we got that much of an overload with the offensive guys on the left
side. So you
side.
should have an opening on the outside, one-on-one matchup with Robert Tonyan and a guy.
You should, and you may have been able to do something if you had this not happen. But this happened.
That's assuming that you got time to throw it, because that right side could collapse in no time, right?
Right.
They time their blitz coming off your right side. Those guys could be on Rodgers before he gets 3 steps back. So I think if he's faced with a situation like that, toss whatever, get the ball out away to the left as quick as possible, and just keep those 3 or 4 guys that are overloaded on the right side for even being a factor.
Well, here's the problem. We have 7 protectors and only 6 guys going after the quarterback, and we couldn't stop. We couldn't protect our quarterback. And they have 5 guys covering 3.
And because of the play action, we got A.J. Dillon doubling here, helping here. Now, that's not his fault. That's where he's supposed to help. But I would have much rather seen a handoff to A.J. Dillon, seal, don't get your ass whooped. LP's got his guys. These guys are doing okay over here. Tunyon. I mean, you could have ran the ball. Maybe A.J. Dillon's got to run over one small guy, but he should be able to do that.
There's a play later on 3rd down, I told you, where Lukey Patrick gets his butt kicked and Aaron Jones gets creamed in the backfield. So it happens to everybody.
I understand. But what I'm also telling you is that is on more than we're pointing out, okay, Runyon got his butt whipped, but that's a play when you got this guy with all of his experience. That's a play you make an adjustment.
Right now, he should be throwing that ball to the R. Yeah. In Cardinals. That ball should be out of his hand and on its way to the R right now.
I mean,
if he would anticipate the throw. Why is he throwing it back that way? Who's he throwing to? Mercedes?
He's throwing to Winfrey. Mercedes is the one he could have gotten away with.
Why is he throwing it to where he is? You throw it to where the guy can make a play on the ball.
I think he's worried about this guy tipping it if he throws it.
Well, you throw it over the top of him.
He's kind of short. He's only 6'2", maybe. And he had to run for his life, so give him a little credit.
Yeah, but that ball should have been out sooner.
Yeah, but it's way behind him.
No, he didn't.
He did throw to the R.
He threw it too late, though.
It was way behind him.
He was behind him. He was throwing behind him.
3rd and goal. Well, now we got to throw again, right? We got to throw. Okay. So now we got empty set. We got Tunyon split out wide.
Empty set. That's the genius move of all time.
We got Randall Cobb here. We've got St. Brown. We got Aaron Jones split out here. And we got Big Dog on this side. Okay. And a tight right next to Billy Turner.
Unless they move Aaron Jones in motion on this play in the backfield to have a possible mess with them.
The Cardinals are moving all over the place because they're a little confused. They're like, wait a minute, Aaron Jones is out here. What are we doing? We're kind of screwed up. So they're moving around late, but they have time because Aaron Rodgers, there's still 6 seconds on the play clock. So they got time to set up again because he'll wait.
Who's in the slot on the top of the...
In the slot, that's Randall Cobb.
So it's Cobb next to Tunyon?
Yep.
That's where he should be going, Randall Cobb.
And that is where he goes. But
that shouldn't be an out route, Randall Cobb.
It should.
What the hell kind of a dumb route is that?
Absolutely, it should.
It should have been a slant. And then as soon as that linebacker came over, you can't throw that. So then you go to Tunyon.
The tiny short guy try to hit him on the outside where he can.
Now, he did get manhandled, and it should have been pass interference, but whatever.
Well, I know, but come on.
We'll let Mo decide. Mo, was that pass interference? Let's watch it here. That's called grabbing the hip and the arm again, and the hip and the arm again. That's pass interference.
Yeah, and then it's good tight defense.
Depends who you are and who the player is for sure. But anyway, the point of that one is, it's kind of not the right play call in that situation, most likely for anybody to be successful. And the wrong guys in the wrong spots. But I do want to take a look. Is this one of the plays? I want to take a sneak peek here at Elton Jenkins. Because remember Elton Jenkins, again, told by many people say it, so great, can play anywhere, can play wherever he wants on the offensive line, and he's so good everywhere that it's like, oh my gosh, he's just amazing. So let's see. There were a couple plays in this game, and just as I was going through it that I noticed this happening, and I'm not sure why. So I think this was one of them. Okay, he's left tackle right here. And he's like almost in Aaron Rodgers' lap by the time he has to throw this ball. And look at how, now I know Aaron Rodgers doesn't use good mechanics most of the time, but he could not step into this throw because Jenkins was just getting shoved back right away. And there's not a good reason. He's much bigger than the guy he's blocking. But maybe that's a tackle technique thing that he's not very good at. For all of you who keep saying in the Packer world how, and all the Packer pundits that'll say, you can just stick him in there at tackle and he should be a right tackle or he should be a left tackle. I don't think so. He's much better at guard and he's not a tackle. And that should not happen. No one else. Even Billy Turner is right here. Even Billy Turner is not anywhere near Aaron Rodgers. But a one-on-one block, It wasn't a
but
double team.
There's a free
It wasn't
blitzer
a
coming right at
stunt.
him, though, on Billy Turner's side.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
know.
say,
Billy
if
Turner
Rogers
is right
goes
now.
to the right,
Billy Turner is now blocking
Well, at
Royce
least he's
Newman's butt.
At least he's blocking something. I mean, at least he's engaged with
I mean,
somebody.
it looks like he's very engaged with Royce Newman's butt right now,
but
which I don't think is helping protect Aaron Rodgers.
it's just something I noticed. I'm
Move
like,
back, go back again. I want you to watch Mercedes Lewis on this play.
it's hard for me to go back in this long one, but I'll try.
Oh,
See, it's too hard.
yeah, but I want you to watch it.
All right, fine, I'll watch it. Mercedes Lewis. I gotta wait for this play again because it's too.
Can't you just click on the left side of the screen to make it go back like 15 seconds?
Watch Mercedes.
I don't
Watch
know.
this. Watch this. Watch what he does. Watch his route.
Where's he? He's right here.
He's right there.
Here. End of the right side of the line. Okay.
Watch his route on this play.
Very effective. Okay.
Very effective. Third down and goal from the 3. Let's have our tight end just run along the line of scrimmage and do nothing. Now, what he could have done was ran forward as fast as he can, and then Aaron Jones would sneak right behind him, and he got a quick little pitch. Boom, touchdown. Hello, it's that easy. It's that easy. But no, let's have him run along the line of scrimmage in the flat for no reason whatsoever. What's he going to do? Because even if he gets the ball, he's going down right away. They're going to tackle him. He's not going to get to the end zone. And the Aaron Jones and St. Brown routes don't work together. Terrible play call. That was doubly dumb. It was dumb on Randall Cobb. Your little short guy is going to do a corner out route in the end zone, and then on the other side, your big, tall monster tight end is just going to run along the line of scrimmage doing nothing. Stupid. Frickin' stupid. And that's a LaFleur. That's a LaFleur play. That's not a Rodgers play. That's a dumb play.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sure.
All right, so let's sneak a peek at this one here. Mo says Lewis should retire. He's not retiring, Mo. He's on the payroll, and he's probably going to be on the team. All right, so this one is, let's see, we're looking at Royce here, Runyon, and we're looking at Jenkins. On this one, we're at 1st and 10. Packers have the ball third quarter from their own 9-yard line. So let's see what happens here. Well, A.J. Dillon breaking some tackles. Remember how the Packers had to have those running backs had the most yards after contact,
They had
right?
the most yards after contact, yes. Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon.
So we get a nice backside replay of this one, thanks to, FOX and NFL Network. So let's take a look at John Runyon Jr., left guard, Elton Jenkins, 74 here. And, of course, Royce. We'll see. We'll just kind of see what we already know what Billy Turner's going to do. So let's see what these 4 guys do here. And I'll pause it as I need to. Okay, so we got flow this way. So it's, it's the zone running scheme.
There should be a double team on each of those guys.
I think they're just flowing. They're just zoning and
Yeah,
flowing.
I hate the stupid zone flow.
But
crap.
you saw against Baltimore, look at how good those double teams worked against those big dudes. So
yeah,
anyway.
it worked great.
Okay, so we got LP engaged here, Runyon kind of sort of engaged,
And Billy Turner is blocking Royce Newman again. Good job, Billy Turner.
he could turn and look at this guy right
God,
here.
is he terrible. I'm so glad he's gone.
That guy could make the play. I mean, don't tell me this guy can't crash right here and make
He
this
totally
play.
can. He totally can. Oh
Now,
my
luckily,
God! What is
you
Billy
got-
Turner doing?
You got Daphne cracking out here on the back block, and he does block that guy, but now I don't know. This is another reason why the zone blocking scheme I don't love either, because right now John Runyon Jr. is doing nothing. He's standing here, and there's a guy right here
in the hole. Yeah,
that I think Royce couldn't hang on to. No, Royce got beat.
No,
by this
Royce
guy.
got his guy. That guy was free.
Yeah, he's just there.
That guy took the other gap, and Runyon has nobody to block, and neither does Amari Rodgers. And Billy Turner finally got somebody, so that's good.
And Lucas is still blocking his guy. He's still there. Just a heads up. Worst offensive Packer of the season, by the way. I'll just keep reiterating that according to some, even though he's still blocking his guy on that play.
I don't think that play was actually that terrible.
No,
Like, I don't think like Billy Turner.
what that play was showing you, what I wanted to show was the zone scheme and how it just, you don't account for people, and because of that, you end up with a guy standing there in an occupying space doing nothing, and a free guy right in the hole.
Yeah, but AJ Dillon made a miss with a spin move, and
okay, great. So he got more of those yards after contact. Awesome. I mean, but it shouldn't. It could be easier. It could be easier.
When you saw DeGuara get the crackback block, that I'm not as bad at Billy Turner now. He tried to help out with the double team, and he moved up to the second level, and he got a guy. So Billy Turner actually wasn't that bad on that. So I take it back. Sorry, Billy Turner.
Well, we didn't know, I didn't know either. I had too many notes on this one. So,
but I'll say, I believe double team and roll off is always better. It's always better because what you're doing is you're preventing penetration in the backfield by doing the double team roll off if you possibly can. Like if there's only 3 or 4 defensive linemen at the line of scrimmage, whatever side you're running to, you double team the 2 big guys, with your guard and your center and your guard and your tackle, and then your tight end and maybe a wide receiver or whoever help double team the other defensive end. And then you at least initially move the line of scrimmage in your favor. When you don't do that, when you have that flowing stuff, you end up with single blocks. You're more susceptible to guys, breaking through because they either missed a block or totally just whiffed and took the wrong hole, or the guy or the defensive player was smart enough to see what was going on and knows where the gap's going to be because of how big his guys are in front of him, where he can make a play. And those are things that are problems. And it's different when, like, the reason why the Denver Broncos were so successful running that style in the 90s was because their offensive line was smaller than most offensive lines. They were quick, agile, and able to move quick and get to a spot before the big defensive linemen were able to move, right? And also, you could get to the second level before guys knew what was happening. Because a lot of time, back then, your middle linebacker was 240, 250 pounds a lot of the time. Nowadays, they're 215. They're way faster than you. This flowing offensive line blocking scheme doesn't work against a quick linebackers and quick guys. They penetrate. They can destroy things. But we saw in the Ravens video, which you showed earlier, that the double team peel off, you could just knock those little linebackers out of their, knock them out of the way. Runyon Bunyan did it. I showed a video, in the 49er playoff game this last year. The only touchdown the Packers score was Lukey Patrick doing the double team and then getting off and smacking the crap out of Fred Warner so that A.J. Dillon gets to score a touchdown. And those are all double team blocks, peel off, smack the little linebacker. You change the line of scrimmage, you move the line of scrimmage in your favor, and then peel off and get to the second level. That's what this team is made for. You have slow, big, lumbering idiots. Okay? Maybe not idiots, but they're slow. Especially with Myers now. 6'5", 310 pounds. He's not a quick, agile center. He's a big guy. Let's use him. Use him for what he's intended. Especially with Sean Ryan, the guy they drafted in the 3rd round, he's a big monster. Like, let's see it. He's got some tree trunk legs on that guy and a big butt. Like, he could probably really solidify some stuff and hold up the fort against some big guys. Like, that's the other thing. He would be great for a double team block because he could be the guy who hangs on to the big guy after the next guy moves on to the next level because he's got enough weight, on his lower body to sustain that block for a longer period of time. So I would love to see him at guard. To be honest, more than at tackle, but I don't know what they're going to do with him.
Well, you mentioned the Ravens highlights that Jason was showing. I think especially in the first set of highlights, you watch Queen and he's almost taking himself out of the play on that first play because they're just attacking so hard.
Yeah,
if you have quick, agile guards, they're not going to catch these guys that are just flying, before the snap of the ball. You're not going to get there. So why take yourself out of the play? I agree. You take control of the line of scrimmage. You determine where it's going, get it moving back. But I mean, also secondarily to that, you're not telegraphing runs on running plays, right? You guys aren't shooting out, going straight downfield. You're attacking the guys at the line of scrimmage. You're not telegraphing this is a run, especially when you've got the attacking linebackers that are going to run blitz. So I think, in addition to everything you said, there's also that component to it where if you want to try to mask what's going on, that's another plus to it, I guess. So.
I mean, a key thing that you could notice to point out is in the approach that we're going to double team and scrape, guys are firing off the ball. And as you saw in that last play, the flow, like the outside zone, they're not firing. They're standing up and then they're drifting to the direction where they're not in a powerful position. They're in a passive, basically a pass block position. So
see, but part
what kind
of
of power
is,
can you get from that? You can't.
is the illusion of complexity with Matt LaFleur, where he
Oh,
wants
the
every
illusion,
play
okay.
to look the same. He wants his runs to look like passes, to look like, and the start of that is your offensive line. So you have to make your offensive line become passive. Well, guess what? You lose then. You've already lost.
Maybe if you got two of the best running backs in the league, or
They need
whatever,
to change their philosophy. Understand what your personnel is, and scheme up to your personnel. Period. You got big offensive linemen who are tough and strong, and you got two good running backs. Let's just use them. Flow off the ball, and then do play action off of that. Suck everybody in. Send Christian Watson deep. Maybe he'll catch half the balls. But the half he does catch, it might be a touchdown because guess what? He's fast. That's what we got to do.
What do you got, Rick?
Oh, I was going to say, like to Ben's point, in those Cardinals highlights, okay, it's first and goal. Why are you pussyfooting around with the finesse, right? Even if you're going to pass the ball, you're going to pass the ball. Don't show them that you're going to pass the ball. They're expecting a run. They're not going to let you run. At least if you show that make it look like you're going to run the ball, at least you're taking it to them, gaining that yard, take control of the line of scrimmage, like Ben was saying. And at least, Rodgers isn't trying to throw off his heels, right? You fire forward, at least you're giving him an extra.
The hard part, though, too, on that second down play, I mean, I don't know what the first down looked like, I don't remember, but the second down play, I mean, there were defensive linemen in every gap. It wasn't like, I mean, there wasn't no double team possibilities there.
No, but you can still take it to them. You don't have to have your first step setting up like it's a 3rd and 10.
Well, the thing that always bothered me was, like, if you have a play that's supposed to go to a certain spot, why can't you could still double team to change the line, the line of scrimmage there. You could still do a double team on, like, if that's where the ball's going. Like, if the ball's going right up the gut, double team. Forget about the other guy. Let him roll. Just keep your inside pressure. Like, if you're on the outside, if you're the tight end or you're a wide receiver on the outside, just as soon as the play starts, just get your body sideways so that the defender has to go around you. And by the time he gets around you, the running back will be through the hole. And then the other guys can double, or even if it's a defensive end, you have to block or whatever. And because the Packers never, like, maybe they'll use more fullback this year, use DeGuara and whoever in that position. But, like, on those plays we just showed, there was no fullback.
Yeah.
On any of those plays. And with the fullback, you're able to, get the extra guy who goes free. If you double team, and then you can, maybe that middle linebacker you can't get to, but that fullback gets to the middle linebacker. And you attack one spot of the defensive line, and you let everybody else do whatever. Who gives a crap? It's the same thing as we showed in the after the playoff game when we talked about the blocked field goal, and there was 3 guys lined up in front of Tyler Lancaster, and 7 guys on this side of the line of scrimmage, and only 4 guys on this side. And those 4 guys didn't do jack squat because they knew the attack was at Tyler Lancaster because the Packers had a crappy, stupid, no adjusting blocking pattern on their field goal attempts. And they had 3 guys attacking Tyler Lancaster, and Lancaster is a defensive tackle who's not used to blocking anybody, and he was supposed to block 3 guys on a freaking field goal block. Stupid. But they attacked the spot. The other guys did nothing. Didn't matter because they knew it didn't matter. That they know where the attack was. Do the same thing on offense. You know where to attack the defense. Have everybody get your best. Attack that spot. It's like a wedge, right? Just like in the old days of kickoff returns. The Packers had one of the best kickoff return units in the whole NFL. Why? Because they had Jeff Thomason. They had, who else did they have? All the guys. Bernardo. Lamont Hollandquist, and Keith McKenzie. Those 4 guys were the wedge. They attacked the middle of the field, opened up the spots for Desmond Howard to sneak through. Now, they've not since made that illegal now, but use that same type of idea in the running game. This stupid flow, everybody flow and grab a guy, is susceptible to 1 or 2 guys not getting there, number 1. Number 2, also not keeping your block. Maybe you get initial block and then you lose it. We just showed Mercedes Lewis not initiate a block and then not sustain it 3-4 times in a row. And why? Doesn't work. But if you double team and attack a certain spot, that's what it's all about. That's why they got to change it. This is the year. And Rodgers has to start letting LaFleur call the plays that way. And people need to start calling these guys out. And calling the play calling out. And being like, what are you doing? All right, I'm done yelling and screaming.
All right. I got to bail pretty soon, guys. But it's always pleasant to talk offensive line.
Thanks
Sorry
for
I
your
can't stick
insight,
around
Rick.
for the marathon. But
We only got a few more to go, but you got stuff to do.
Right.
You're a fair guy and a good one.
I got to work
strong.
at 5 in the
Lucas
morning.
Patrick.
Luke Patrick.
What?
I got to work at 5 in the morning.
I don't have to do that early, but I'm tired and I got stuff to do still. So
You're a wuss.
I'm gonna show a couple good plays from Lucas right now.
Go fishing on a charter boat with your child who's as tall as you are now, which is really scary.
Hey, he caught some fish. You did all right.
I know.
It was
I saw it.
successful.
He did.
That's not what's going on
Your
tomorrow.
mom is posting pictures.
I know. I'll show in here to
Oh,
all the listeners. So here we go. Look at that.
Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon, and Aaron Jones in the same play right here.
All right, I'm out.
Amazing.
Later,
Bye,
guys.
Rick. Peace out. We got some good O-line to finish up with here. We'll show some plays. Now, we got a good push on this one. This is a 3rd and 1. We got a double team with Lucas and Royce kind of double teaming here. And we got a double team on this side with Jenkins and Runyon double teaming this guy because you only need 1 yard. And Ben showed in one of his videos long ago, when you need 1 yard, what should you do, Ben?
Just freaking double team guys and attack one spot. That's what I just talked about for the last 10 minutes.
And you give your big back the ball and you get a first down. It works
You know
out
what
pretty good.
the best part about that play was? Go back. Can you go back? You can't,
I think they show a replay of it, I believe.
There's a guy who's like a safety or something who's covered Aaron Jones. He just runs after Aaron Jones. He just takes himself out of the play. Why? Because Aaron Jones is in there.
That's right.
It's one of these 2 guys in the middle. He just takes off. See, look.
Yep, there he goes.
He should have been in that hole.
He's leaving.
But because he's worried about Aaron Jones, that hole's there. Look at that. That's why you should have A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones in the field at the same time, because a dumb guy like that who should be covering this hole is instead going after Aaron Jones. Look at that.
Hilarious.
That guy should be in the hole to make the tackle.
That's why you were a good color analyst. You always were.
And A.J. Dillon didn't go to that hole, but, whatever. He should have.
He just followed Lucas Patrick. He was smart.
Yeah, I know. He's like, who's the guy that sustains the block? I'm going to just follow him because I only need 1 yard.
And we get a first down. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Because when it's 3rd and 1, how many times do we see Eddie Lacy putz around when he's a big, huge dude? Just go get the first down, man.
Yeah, just get the first down. Live another day.
Yeah, get a fresh set of downs and go. This play, I can't remember what happens. We're going to watch it and find out. I think it's
Probably something good. It's got to be a running play.
Yep, Aaron Jones, running play.
Ugh.
Not too great.
Runyon Bunyan, what happened there?
I don't know. I don't think they replay this one.
Oh, Lukey Patrick. Oh, that was the middle of the offensive line and just not looking good.
But something that did happen is, I don't think they show a replay of that one. So let's watch
Murray's sitting on his butt.
Lucas at least tries to stay with his guy, and it helps because if he doesn't stick with his guy, this play is even worse. So watch Lucas here. Watch. I don't
Pause
know
it
what
once.
with
Pause
Runyon.
it. Pause it.
What do you got? You want to show the alignment? Ooh, we got lots. We got a light box here.
That's what I'm saying. Look at where this ball is going. And look at there should be a double team on the D tackle
here
with Lukey Patrick and Royce, and then Billy Turner's got to sneak over and try to take out that standing up guy.
And this guy's far enough out that you could have these two guys double him.
Well, somehow Runyon Bunyan
then
ends up
scrape.
over there on the ground. So
I
what
know,
did
let's
he do
find
on this
out. Let's
play?
find out what John Runyon Jr., the best offensive lineman of the year last year.
You're ready to
did.
pause it right away.
I will.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
So
that's too soon.
this guy's. I know, but I'm just gonna point
He's
out
not
this
even
guy's-
moving yet.
This guy's outside shoulder of him.
Yeah.
He's like outside shoulder between him and Jenkins.
Yash can handle that guy.
This guy's here, and then you got backers. And I think the backers attack, but let's find out. Let's watch it a little bit here, a little at a time. Oh no, okay.
No, the backers
So-
aren't even attacking yet.
All right, this guy was outside Lucas's shoulder. So Lucas, this is a tough block. He has to get all the way to the outside shoulder and try to get on the outside of that guy because this ball is going here for some reason. I
Yeah,
don't
but
know
Royce
why.
and him should be double teaming that guy.
I know, but Royce doesn't do. Royce should be chipping this guy enough that then Lucas can get around, get some leverage on him. But I don't think that happens. And Runyon, I think, is trying to get the backer, but just can't get there. So we'll advance a little bit. Yeah, Royce left way too early and did not like. There should be a shoulder shot that turns that guy, so then this guy can get over here and shield. But that never happened because Royce just touches guys with his hands and then moves on.
Well, he learned that from Billy Turner.
And now he's trying to go tag that guy.
And look at the way. Unfortunately, Aaron Jones should have bounced this to the outside. Look at Billy Turner. He's got the outside sealed.
Billy
'cause
Turner's
'cause he
guys fell
sucked. Yeah.
down, and he's at least got him there. Yeah,
Jones
Should've
should have went to
bounced
the
it.
outside.
all the way. But he cuts in here. Lucas is trying to get leverage, but that was a reach block, and he didn't get the help he should have gotten. But he still got past him. That guy's not making the tackle right here.
Yeah, he
The
is.
guy that Runyon didn't get is making the tackle. The linebacker's flying in.
Oh.
That guy falls on after the fact. But guess who still got his hand on him and grabbing him?
Man, with Billy Turner's guy laying on the ground, that should have been a huge play.
Yeah, and then
Aaron
Lucas
Jones.
still piles on him.
Aaron Jones should have took it out to the outside.
Yep,
What
it
was he
happens. It's hard. It's not easy being a running back sometimes, But it's all these guys mess up on plays sometimes. That's what
Lee, our official scout is out.
Lee's here. How's it going, Lee? Oh, appreciate it. Appreciate you watching. We did a lot of we did some exposure, and we unfortunately had to inadvertently show that Mercedes is not as good as everybody says. And we love him as a guy, but probably shouldn't be on the roster. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, Lee. We need tight ends that are more versatile, and the way he's been blocking, I think any of the guys could block that good based on a lot of things we've been seeing on tape. Let's see, going to a couple of camp as the official scout. Okay, we will not be there this week. Our goal is to get there sometime here during the training camp to check it out and get our
I don't think
eyes
we're
on
getting
it.
there.
I'll do it if you can't make it. I'll still go, but I hope we can make it. I hope it's our goal to do it. I got to
I don't
find
think
one
it's
more
happening.
play here, and then we'll be done looking at plays. But I got to find one more. So
Well, we could talk about Kyler Murray got a bunch of money.
Kyler Murray got a bunch of money. Okay, talk about it.
He's now the second highest paid quarterback in the NFL, right after Aaron Rodgers.
Wow.
And why? 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 Exactly. There's no reason. He's not that good. He's only been in the league for 3 years. Why are we paying these guys this money? It's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. Baker Mayfield's better than him, right, Mo? Mo hates Baker Mayfield. I don't know why he hates him so much. He just hates him. He likes Gardner Minshew, though, because he's got Gardner in his name. I don't know what's going on. Aaron Rodgers looks mad in this picture.
He always looks mad. Most of the games last year, he looked mad most of the time, like he didn't want to be there, but he was still there.
He didn't take the COVID shot, but he told everybody he did.
Oh.
Or the vaccination.
All right, let's see what we got on this one here. I think this is a pass play. This is 3rd and 2, so we got to pass it, I believe. 3rd and 2, we should probably pass it. Although, if you look over here, we got 2 guys out here, 3, and we got Aaron Jones. I mean, I would maybe hand it off and run out here, but I mean, that's just me. What do I know? What do I know? Let's see what
Not
happens.
much. You don't know much.
I know a little bit. I know when I got some numbers, I might take advantage of those numbers, but what? Oh, we are running it. This is exciting. I would have gone all the way outside, and there's not a lot there. Oh, look at that. Picking. Oh, yeah.
Elton
Okay.
Jenkins, he stayed in the way and
Elton
moved,
Jenkins
and moved the line of
sustained.
scrimmage in a positive way.
He did sustain his block for that time. There are plenty of times I watched him not sustain his block, so I'm glad he did on that play. That was an important conversion on that last Packer drive as well. Now, this is a play I have shown in the past, but it's so damn good by Lucas Patrick that you can't even understand unless you watch it from this angle and you watch it again. So Lucas is a center. He's got his big butt there, and he'll snap it, and then watch what he does. So you got this D tackle who is basically in his right shoulder, but attacking this way hard right out of the gate. It's because Royce was probably supposed to help double on this, but that guy attacked right here right away, so he couldn't. Billy Turner's got the arms flared out. He's going to try to do something on this guy. Maybe Runyon's here. Jenkins has to seal this in order for this run to go between there, and he does. Because if he doesn't hold that block, this play is probably toast. Because you got to have a seal on this. A seal here and a seal here. But this guy does the most work on the play and saves the damn play. Because watch, so the guy, I told you, that guy crashed hard. So Lucas got pushed, right? So he's given a little ground. Now Runyon gets in there and gives him a little help.
Helping him out.
This is a great example of how the offensive line has to work together, but also how when you have guys that are smart and aware, then even when the defense wins or has an advantage, those guys can make adjustments and counter that. And this was a great play to counter that. Now Jenkins has to keep this little guy busy. He does. Royce, this guy jumped inside of Royce and he was not ready for it. So Lucas passes off this big guy after they stabilize him to Runyon, and Lucas picks up this guy who's crashing in hard. Because if that guy gets through, the play's over as well. And he holds his ground and he seals him. And Jones finds it. And Jenkins ties up his guy good enough. And we get a first down.
That was a good job by Runyon initially helping out. Lukey Patrick coming off, helping out Royce. And Jenkins holding his fort the whole time, sustaining a block. That was a great play. That was all offensive line.
That's what you have to have.
Yeah, but the problem is we don't have Lukey Patrick anymore, Jace.
No, I understand. But that's what Myers has to be able to do.
He's not going to be able to do that.
And that's also what you got. That's why sustaining the blocks are so critical. And that's why when I'm looking at offensive line stuff, sustaining blocks is way more important to me than a guy who beats the snot out of somebody. Now, that's fun. And I love Quinn Miners when he beats the snot out of guys too. But the one thing he has to do better is sustain his blocks. Because sometimes when you do that, big push or overpower somebody or try to bulldoze them, you lose contact. And if that guy's quicker than you and shiftier than you, he can then recover and then make the tackle. So sustaining blocks, holding blocks. Now, fortunately, we got rid of one guy who never sustained his blocks, and that's Billy Turner. Yep. Unfortunately, we still have Royce who doesn't sustain blocks. Runyon's a little iffy. Like Runyon will kind of sustain his blocks okay, but he's got to work on maintaining his balance because he gets off balance a lot. Like guys will get him. That's one thing I noticed. Guys will get his shoulder pad and get him leaning and then kind of toss him and get around him. So that's one thing Runyon's got to get better at. And Jenkins, I think he needs to use his power a little more as I watch him. I don't see a lot of physical play from him when you need it. So it's weird to me because like I would think Jenkins would be more physical. He's not physical enough. And he also needs to sustain blocks. So he's got to have a little more physicality, hold his block longer, and then you might have something. But he's coming off injury too, so we don't know what he's going to look like. Bakhtiari's still a mystery, and look how long it's taken him. Now, Jenkins is a younger guy, way younger, so hopefully you hope that knee surgery went better, the recovery's better, there's not the swelling issue, because I think that's what it was, right? Like, Bakhtiari played those 29 snaps, then they realized some swelling or some fluid or something, right? And that was why they shut him down. And that was why he didn't come back. And then I think he had to have a follow-up surgery on that knee, I think is what I heard. So But again, the older you are, the more challenging those knee surgeries and any kind of surgery is going to be to recover from. And David Bakhtiari's had quite a bit of torque, and just the way he'd always block, I thought he would have back injuries by now because he just kind of like wrenches his back all the time when he's pass blocking. I was like, he didn't really pump his feet or move his feet. He just like absorbed the guy and then stick his arms out and hold and then just wrench his back.
Hold? Did you say hold?
Well, yeah, that's good blocking when you can get away with it, so.
That's not nice.
Anyway, I wanted to finish on that because that's like wonderful offensive line play together, but again, it wasn't the way they drew it up. And the reason, so that guy, the big guy, attacks hard in a spot you didn't expect him to, because he was outside shoulder, and all of a sudden he attacks the other way. And then they had another backer come crash in because like Royce was standing there in the gap being like, okay, I got to seal this gap. But he was so passive about it that guy crashed in and could have gotten past him if you didn't have the awareness by the center to pick up that guy. So that's why when you look at offensive linemen, it can't just be about big guys. The guys got to be smart. The smarts, the awareness, the ability to adjust and recover when you get beat are some of the most important traits for an offensive lineman, because a bunch of times you're not going to be able to overpower some guy. And also, it's not going to go the way you drew it up. So anyway, when I factor in and look at offensive line, that's what I look at. And those are my biggest keys. So hopefully the Packers got some guys. Hopefully Myers can be aware. He showed some signs. But I'm telling you as well, for all the people that wrote off Lucas Patrick and said he wasn't that good or said he was the worst offensive Packer all of last season, or said he's easily replaceable, or all the other things that were said about the guy, you're wrong. And you're going to be proven wrong this year, most likely. So,
unless the Packers are a attack, run defense, or run offense team.
Yeah. Well,
if they use their size with Myers and Sean Ryan and, Yash, and decide to just bulldoze their dudes instead of trying to pussyfoot around, then maybe that doesn't matter. You just bulldoze guys.
There are still teams that, block that way, that will basically double team to get movement, and then with timing of the back and timing of the scrape, guys scraping off the double teams to get to the second level. Even if you don't get a big block, you're running interference, and then you let the back find the hole. I mean, it works great for a lot of teams. So, and the Packers have shown they can do it. They've done it at times each of the last 3 seasons. I don't remember if McCarthy would ever call double team blocks in his offense or not. I don't recall, but like Matt LaFleur certainly has it. They certainly have that approach. It's just that they don't use it enough. So,
well, the thing I say is the biggest difference between last season and this season is they don't have the awareness. They don't have the veteran leadership unless Bakhtiari can come back right away, because Jenkins won't be able to play right out from the start. I mean, Runyon's going to be your leader on the offensive line. And he's, what's his 3rd year now? That's it. So they're going to have to make up for the lack of awareness and knowledge and veteranness with physical ability, and just being bigger and use your youth and athleticism to win. So, and they're going to have to recognize this and do it that way, because all they got is a bunch of young guys, and then Dave Bakhtiari. Everybody else is 3 years or less. Well, Yash, I guess, has been around longer, but he hasn't played at all. So it seems like he's only been around for a couple of years, though this is like his 4th year, I think, coming in, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just, it's going to be a lot different than what we've been used to. because we had years and years of Sitton, Lang, guys like that, and then your young guy was Lindsley, but you still had Sitton and Lang in Balaga, right? You had 3 veterans, and then Lindsley and Bakhtiari were your young guys. And then as things changed when Sitton and Lang left, well, then you got younger guys like Lane Taylor, who's pretty dang good, who came in and filled in nicely. And he, but there's always like a veteran next to a young guy, veteran next to a young guy, veteran next to a young guy. This year it's young guy, young guy, young guy, young guy, young guy, injured guy, injured guy. And that's what we have. So Rodgers better not freak out when these guys screw up, because they're going to screw up.
And he
Then
better
you also-
not make
and
it
then
too
your-
complicated.
Right. And then your wide receivers are, guess what? Young guy, young guy, young guy, young guy, old fat guy, old slow guy, big tall slow guy. So guess what our advantage is? A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones. That's
Yeah.
where the advantage lies with this team. So let's attack. Let's use our athleticism. Let's control the line of scrimmage with big, tough dudes. Use them. Sean Ryan needs to start somewhere. Probably a right guard. And you can maul dudes with Myers and Sean Ryan. Just maul dudes.
Yeah, because
Right there.
Royce is. They keep talking about Royce at right guard, and he is not a.
They should
he's
put him
not
at
an
right
aggressive-
tackle.
He's not a physical guy. He's not aggressive.
No.
He's not physical. He's not any of that. So
Well, it's so weird too, because and then they also have Zach Tom, who's apparently taking backup center snaps, and he's like the exact opposite of Josh Myers. Because Zach Tom is like 285, like 6'2", 285, where Myers is 6'5", 310. Zach Tom is like athletic, quick feet, use your agility to get to a spot before the other guy gets there. Myers is beat the crap out of the dude, smack him around. So your backup center is nothing like your starting center. And the other part is, it's the same as last year, right? The backup center was Lukey Patrick. Well, the difference was Lukey Patrick's got years and years of experience where he can adjust and knows what to do if something weird happens. Now you got a guy who's a rookie, backing up a guy who's a second-year guy. I don't know. It's scary.
I know.
And I think that's the thing nobody's talking about. Like
Everyone talking about the
everybody's worried
receivers.
about the wide
forever.
receivers so much,
I
right?
know.
It's really. I mean, I'm worried about the receivers too. Don't get me wrong, but I mean,
Right.
it's the offensive line that's going to be interesting,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully the through training camp, the coaches will see, hey, this is what we're good at. This is what we need to do to win, and hopefully they can get that through to Rodgers. We need Tom Clemens, he's got to be Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
And he's got to be our only hope. He's our only hope to get through to Aaron Rodgers. That's it. Because he doesn't listen to LaFleur. He hasn't for 3 years. But he will listen to Tom Clemens. So hopefully LaFleur can tell things to Tom Clemens that Rodgers doesn't know he's telling him. And then Clemens will tell Rodgers, and Rodgers will be like, oh, Tom Clemens thinks I should do that. When really it's LaFleur who thinks he should do it. But he's not going to listen to LaFleur, but he'll listen to Tom Clemens. That's the only thing I can think of is how it's going to work. But we'll see.
It's
We'll see what
crazy.
happens.
Yeah,
Lee
it's crazy.
will keep us informed every week after he watches the training camp, and then we'll know what's up.
That sounds awesome, Lee. We appreciate that. We'll take the insights, and I will make it to camp this year. Hope Ben is going to be there too. We'll find out. We're going to end on this tonight. We've got
Look at that.
some little young bros. So I was at mom and dad's not too long ago, and they had a couple of old pictures lying around. This was one of them. Now you can guess who's who, probably.
Why are your suspenders on backward or like here? Like, why do you have them crossed? I think it's because they were too big for you, right? So they had to double it up so that it would actually fit you right.
But we're wearing the same basic outfit.
Yeah,
again.
that's what mom would
Because
always do. She'd make us wear the same outfits all the time, even though I'm 2 years older than you. But whatever.
Anyway, so this is Ben, if you didn't know, and this is me over here, if you didn't know. Okay. So let's sneak a peek at the other ones. I think I got it. Where did I go? Oh, here I am. Let me get back to it. Because there's another one here that we kind of showed in the beginning, but look at these guys. This is where it all started. Is this when we became football fans, or were we football fans and then got these things?
I don't know.
Okay, here's the
I
question.
just
Mom
know
and Dad,
I was a Steeler fan for the longest time because I was born in '74. So when I was a little kid, the Steelers were actually winning all the Super Bowls. So I was like, you know, a big Steeler fan. I didn't care about the Packers. It made Dad mad. I remember that much. That's all I remember though.
Mom and Dad are in the chat, so I need to ask them.
Are they?
I think so. So I need to
I haven't
ask
seen them
them.
say anything yet.
Were we? Yeah, but they don't chat that much. But I need to ask them. Were we football fans and wanted these outfits, or did Mom and Dad want us to be football fans, so they got us these outfits, and then we became football fans?
Well, all I know is they didn't want us to play football. So I'm assuming we were probably football fans and we wanted those because later on I was not allowed to play football, which, Mom gets mad when I bring it up, but it's true. And then, of course, you forged Mom and Dad's signatures on the
That's not
thing.
true.
That is true. And you went to
That's
practice
not-
for like 2 weeks before they realized you were playing football. And then Dad was just like, oh, well. And then you got to play football where I actually was the good son who listened to my mom and dad, who they were like, oh, we're worried about you. You're 5'11" and 3/4 and you only weigh 125 pounds. You're going to get killed. And I'm like, well, and you have asthma. And I'm like, well, yeah, but all the other kids are only 5'2". Because in 7th grade, I was 5'11" and 3/4. I was like a half foot taller than everybody else. So I would have been like Mean Joe Green out there, smacking people left and right, elbowing them in the gut or in the face, kneeing them in the head.
They can't remember.
Well, that was a long time ago, dude. I mean,
know, but
how old are we here? Like 8 and 6, maybe? 7 and 5?
I don't know, but I'm not sure why I
That
took
looks
a knee
like-
for this picture either. I'm not.
Because you always have you're subsidiary to me. You take a knee. I'm the king. You're the subject. You must always be lower than me. I am more important. Although you have Algoma colors.
I know.
And I have I don't know what that is. Patriots colors, I guess. Giants.
And you got 76 and I got 90 and
Well, we just put numbers on there.
oh, we did. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why you picked 90 and I picked 76. I have no
But
idea.
I'll tell you, when we wore the whole thing and the helmet, we were pretty cool back then. I mean,
I thought I was cool.
We looked tough, wearing the stuff. We looked cool. We were happy young football fans. And that's Mom and Dad. We got this for Christmas, and it was awesome, And that's how, for me, based on my recollection, that's when we all started with our football fandom and Packer fandom and all that stuff. Grew from there. So that's what we got tonight. So little Hafen bros, way, way, way back in the day. And now we look like this.
Yeah, I'll say this much. I was definitely a good-looking kid. I don't know what happened. But I was good-looking. Now I'm old. I was cute. You were cute, but you were like, you look like a little kid. I look like I could be like a model. I'm like an 8-year-old model right there. I don't know why. If we would have lived somewhere else, like not in such a dinky little town, I could have been a model for sure. Like I could have modeled for Kohl's or something, or Sears. They had the kids in the model magazines and stuff back in the day. I could have been wearing the flip flops and the weird, really big collar from 1982.
Okay. Well, what in your whole life could have taken a different path.
Yeah,
You could have made a
I could be like Tom Brady. I could have married a supermodel, played football.
I'm just thinking you could have made a bunch of money as a kid, and then who knows what could happen.
Yeah, would have been pretty good. I mean, I was seventh grade, 13 years old. I was like 6 feet tall.
There it is. They confess. They got us into football. Mom and Dad's fault.
Yeah.
Or Mom and Dad's influence. Well, there you go. That's how it all happened. Started with these outfits, I think.
Yeah, and I played 7 hours of Madden today. So
There you go. You're still a big football fan.
Madden
Way to go.
franchise. My franchise is the Lions, though. I'm in the year 2031 right now.
Wow.
I had 7 first-round picks.
Nice work, GM. Way to go. So the Packers also could have had 7 first-round picks.
I know,
this year
they were
if
smart like me.
Made a trade, yeah.
I trade away my really good players every time when their contract comes up, most of the time, because I can't afford them. I mean, I'll keep like the really, really like ones that I know I can't like replace. But if I can replace it, sorry, you're gone. Aaron Rodgers, see ya. Devontae Adams, bye.
It's a business. It's a business.
Yeah, that's the way it is.
Okay, well, that's all we
Right.
got for tonight. Hopefully, I mean, you can make your own conclusions, but the tape doesn't lie. And
Well,
unfortunately, there was some negative exposure and there was some positive exposure.
I would say there was some good stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
guys coming off blocks, working together. It's
that's
just,
what you got to have.
can these new guys do the stuff that those guys did? That's all. Like a lot of this video, we had Elton Jenkins and Lukey Patrick in there, and we're not going to have those veteran guys for, type guys for most of the year. Hopefully Bakhtiari will be there, but we don't really know about that either. So that's a little concerning.
Well, and the one thing is that I was trying to look at the O-line, but a bunch of these plays with Lewis on the field, it was like, I just can't. You just can't do it. You need your special teams to be better. Tight
They
ends
just signed a tight end today again, or yesterday.
Oh, okay.
They signed another tight end.
And tight ends got to play. They got to be a factor on special teams. The body type you need, right? And then on top of that, what does he do for you that the other guys can't do? And if he's that important for leadership, then you're lacking.
That's a problem.
You're lacking leadership. Like you got to have.
You're paying a guy $50 million a year to be your leader, not a old tight end. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers is supposed to be the leader, and he never has been. He's always had. We went over this before. He's always had Charles Woodson, or Clay Matthews, or Julius Peppers, or whoever was always the leader of the team. Not him. He was never the leader of the team. Never.
I think it's going to have to go on the defensive guys again this year to be the primary leaders for the team.
Adrian Amos?
The vocal leaders.
He's not very vocal. Preston Smith is the only guy who could probably do it.
I think Douglas could. I think Douglas could do it. I think. I don't know.
For
Campbell's
the whole
like
team.
Well, I don't know.
Campbell's too quiet. He can lead like his group, his linebacker group, but I don't see him as like a leader of the team.
Kenny Clark's too low key.
Yeah, he's too low key. Preston Smith's the only guy who can do it.
Jeez, wow. Well, maybe now you just talked me into why we have to keep Lewis because we don't have any other leaders on the team.
Well, Bakhtiari could maybe lead. Randall Cobb could be a good leader, but I don't know if he's kind of as useless as freaking Mercedes Lewis is, to be honest.
Well, he caught some passes last year when he.
You know who the leader? You know who the leader of this team should be?
Who?
I'll tell you. 33, baby. 33.
Is he tough enough for that though? I don't think he gets. He can't. He won't hold guys accountable.
And he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. He's kind of
Dang, I think we just exposed the Packers' another big problem: leadership, lack of leadership.
Well, maybe it's LaFleur's going to have to lead them.
They don't have a dominating coach that's going to command leadership.
No.
They got Rodgers for the quarterback. He likes to just sit back and let it come naturally, however that works out, and then yell at guys when they screw up or give them the stinky look. You got Mom says Mason. Mason could be
I don't know if he's going to make the team.
He's pretty petty when he doesn't have stuff go his way. He blames others when he misses kicks, Mom. I don't like that about him.
Well, and him and Rodgers are good buddies. That's why.
Who do they have?
I don't know.
Oh man. All right, now they got to keep Mercedes Lewis just for leadership. Is there a position?
But he's not even that great of a leader either. They need Rodgers to be a leader.
Oh my God! Yeah. That's so weird. I hadn't even really thought about it.
Well, now we got somebody who's saying they're worried they say neglecting the wide receiver position for years is what bothers them, and I don't know if they really neglected it. Because we did have Devontae, who they still wanted to keep. He just didn't want to be there anymore.
And they tried. They tried, but some of the picks didn't work out very well.
They drafted 3 guys in 1 year. They had Lazard. They had, guys. It's just they took Amari Rodgers last year.
Right.
He just sucked.
Yeah. Well, they're saying
thanks to Rodgers, they brought back Randall Cobb and then took his position away. And then what did Amari Rodgers do? Nothing. I don't know. It's Andy Herman went through the defense the other day, and he was like, every single starting player on the defense is either a first-round pick or a high-priced free agent signing as of right now.
Wow.
So they've really focused on defense with everything. I mean, first-round pick, Kenny Clark. First-round pick, Quay Walker. First-round pick, Devontae Wyatt. First-round pick, Jair. First-round pick, Eric Stokes. First-round pick, Savage. Right?
Mm-hmm.
High free agent signing, Preston Smith, Campbell, Rasul Douglas, Agent Amos, and then Dean Lowry, who is their own free agent they signed back. Who, I don't know if that's good or not, but whatever. But either way, those are all high-priced. Like, there's an undrafted free agent type guy who's starting there, right?
Yeah.
They've really put in the effort on defense over the last 4 years. They have not shown that same effort at wide receiver, which is true. I mean, when your biggest name guy is Sammy Watkins, who is sitting on the couch, and then your starting number 1 receiver is an undrafted free agent guy who was on the Jaguars practice squad before you picked him up, that's a little concerning. So, but what it shows is this team is, the defense needs to produce. The defense needs to hold up its end.
And you got to lean on them.
Yeah, they need to be a top 5 defense. Period. They just need to. When you have that much into it, that many first-round picks, that many high-priced free agents, like, that's where the money goes, And on offense, they've put money into the major roles, quarterback, left tackle, and then, playmaker, running back, and Aaron Jones. I want Gardner Minshew, but I think Gardner Minshew would be perfect. Maybe it wouldn't be so great in the wind, like if it's cold and Lambeau and windy, he might not have the arm strength, but when it comes to running an offense and making good decisions and being accurate and extending plays and making things happen when things break down, he's great. He'd be perfect. But whatever. We'll just go with this. If Rodgers will just listen to LaFleur and do what needs to be done, and they play as a team, I think they'd be great.
They got to lean on the running backs then again.
Lean on the running backs. Have Rodgers do what he does. He doesn't throw picks. But what he needs to do is not want to be the hero all the time. Run the offense.
Mm-hmm.
So what if you have a play where 2 guys get Alan Lazard open for a wide open 8-yard route over the middle that you could just throw a 2-yard pass to him and then he takes it for 25 yards? Like, I know it's not exciting for you because you didn't make an amazing throw, or you didn't make 3 guys miss before you threw it off your back foot to a perfect spiral of 35 yards downfield. But guess what? He caught the ball. He was wide open. You threw the ball 8 yards. He ran for another 30, and it ended up being a 38-yard pass. Just the same as if you threw a 38-yard bomb to Devontae, who caught it and then went out of bounds right away. Guess what? Same thing happens. Still went 38 yards. It's just you're not the superhero. Yeah, Brett Favre didn't give a crap. He threw it to Amon Green 75,000 times in a row. He don't care. Because guess what? When you're all done, the stat just said Brett Favre touchdown. It didn't say Amon Green ran 75 yards for that touchdown. It just says Brett Favre threw a touchdown. And Rodgers needs to learn that. Because of all the great plays he's made, it hasn't led to victories in the playoffs. So, I don't know.
I hope you're
I know
wrong, Zero.
Yeah,
I hope,
Zero.
we hope Tom Clemens will put the
I'm telling you.
Muju Juju on him.
I think Tom Clements is the key. He is. It's almost like the MVS thing from a couple years ago. MVS is the key to making the Packers offense go because he takes the top off the defense. Tom Clements needs to be the Aaron Rodgers whisperer. He needs to whisper stuff in his ear, that will somehow convince him to do what he's supposed to do instead of be the superhero. And just make it that simple. Be like, hey, this play is just as good as this play. And it's way easier. It's still 38 yards. But you know what? You didn't have to run around for frickin' 35 seconds, and then a guy has to know exactly what you're thinking to go to an open spot. We ran 2 guys who got this guy open, and then you threw it, and then he ran for another 30 yards. That's genius. It's easy. Do that. Do that. And then we win games. But whatever. I got to go to bed.
I know. Football's hard enough. You don't have to make it harder.
Yeah.
And so if Aaron Rodgers can take the easy stuff, then the team can be successful. And you lean on the defense, and there you go. So,
Tom Brady won 7 Super Bowls by taking what's there. How many flashy plays does he make? Not too dang many. Oh, yeah. Big Sakia, man.
Let's see. Big Sakia was it. Hoping that Big Sakia can fix the special teams. And, yeah. And part of that is having the right guys on special teams and having enough of them. So, hopefully, I think Goody's made some investments on that front to improve it.
Yeah.
Get more of those players that you need, the linebacker, tight end types. But that might mean Mercedes might be out. It might have to be out.
He might have to be out.
And that's just the way it is. I'm sorry. I mean, sorry to say he's a good guy, but if you ain't blocking people well and you can't help on special teams, there's probably not a spot for you.
On field goal block units, can we please not have 3 defensive tackles out there?
Yeah.
Can we have all offensive linemen for the most part, please?
There's no reason you couldn't. There's really no reason you couldn't.
I went back and I watched that, or I don't know if I watched it or listened to it the other day at work. That's how I remember all these things, because I actually watched it the other day. But that the Tyler Lancaster, where he had to block 3 guys. It's just like, what the crap? It's dumb. It's dumb. And the fact that he was out there with T.J. Slayton and Dean Lowry, that was your 3. I mean,
and one other variable there, to be honest, and I'm sorry, I mean, again, speaking truth, is an instant like that where you saw a big overload and you saw this mismatch. Maybe you don't have a line call or the time to make that adjustment, but what you should have is a timeout that you can use.
Well, they didn't have timeouts.
But the Packers end up losing a bunch of their timeouts for another reason. And that's a problem.
That's a totally another topic altogether.
I know. But just think about that. You got to have timeouts. So that's another adjustment. Hopefully Tom Clemens can help with Aaron Rodgers, is to get him to run the play sooner and not waste timeouts because you can't get the play off in time. So just because you might need him for a situation, say like that, for example.
Yeah.
So anyway. Okay, well, that's enough for tonight. We appreciate you guys hanging out. Appreciate your comments, your thoughts. Appreciate, the little bros as well. And next week will be something different. I promise no offensive line talk next week. I'm done with the offensive line. I've done enough videos on it now. Actually, training camp starts next week, so we'll talk about training camp starting. And Lee will hopefully give us a good scoop next week. And then, again, my goal is to get over to training camp at some point here and make sure that I can get my eyes on the Packers and get some updated photos, because I told you my wide receiver photo is old. It's damn old. There's only guy that's still in my photo from a handful of years ago is Randall Cobb, and he left and then came back. But all the other guys that were in my wide receiver shot, they're not on the team anymore, so we got to get an updated photo.
My last photo with wide receivers got Aubrey Matthews on it.
Whoo, that was a few years ago.
Well, Don Mikowski threw to Aubrey Matthews, so that tells you how long ago that was.
Man. All right, bro. Get some sleep. Have a good day at work, and we'll catch all you guys next week for the Pooh Show.
Tell me why the unicorn, still